In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the prominence of the Terrans resonates deeply. Renowned as the foremost trading power, their ideal X-class superfreighters, crewed entirely by Terrans, epitomize grandeur and efficiency, capable of transporting over 1 billion tons of cargo across the stars. Situated 25,000 light-years from the galactic core, they enjoy isolation from the conflicts of the galactic conglomerate, yet remain strategically positioned for interstellar commerce, taking just under a Terran month to reach the heart of the galactic conglomerate, Ployus. Despite proclaiming pacifism, the Terrans faced a moral dilemma during the Tit-Umk War, trading with both factions to provide essential resources while insisting on the protection of civilian lives. This stark departure from galactic norms stemmed from a historical event, the war to end history, a century prior, where the Terrans discovered a profound aversion to certain wartime tactics. Their commitment to safeguarding civilians in teams of conflict baffled many galactic species accustomed to total war ideologies. When the Terrans halted aid shipments to Tit territories after witnessing civilian casualties, they unwittingly sparked a crisis. The Tit government, viewing this as an act of aggression, found themselves unable to retaliate due to the Terrans' geographical remoteness. Consequently, the Tit civilization descended into chaos, torn apart by internal strife exacerbated by external pressures. Despite their initial intentions, the Terrans faced backlash from both the Tit government and populace, realizing that their ideals were not universally embraced. Subsequently, the Terrans retreated from supplying governments during wars, but their stance inadvertently invited perceptions of weakness among neighboring empires like the Favja and the Daitrik. While the Daitrik maintained a neutral stance, admiring the Terrans' historical prowess in warfare, the Favja grew increasingly antagonistic, leading to tense encounters along their borders. Despite their commitment to pacifism, the Terrans found themselves navigating a precarious balance between their principles and the harsh realities of galactic politics. The Favja civilization faced a dire crisis when one of their prominent stars went supernova, decimating a significant portion of their agricultural regions. This catastrophic event triggered widespread famine across Favja territories, pushing their leaders to desperate measures in order to secure food for their starving populace. Resorting to clandestine tactics, they began sponsoring attacks on Terran superfreighters near their borders, seeking to plunder their cargo to alleviate the hunger plaguing their people. Initially, these attacks were conducted with a semblance of restraint, often resulting in the hijacking of superfreighters and the safe return of their crews. However, tensions escalated dramatically when a faction of Favja extremists massacred an entire Terran crew, prompting outrage and demands for justice from the Terran authorities. The Favja leadership, caught in a web of denial and political maneuvering, refused to acknowledge their involvement, shielding their own high-ranking military commanders who had orchestrated the attack. As diplomatic efforts faltered, the brink of war loomed ominously on the horizon. Favja fleets, honed from recent conflicts, launched surprise assaults on vulnerable Terran systems, catching their adversaries off guard with their strategic cunning. Despite initial successes, these aggressive maneuvers only served to galvanize Terran resolve. Amidst the escalating conflict, a cryptic speech by a Terran diplomat, invoking metaphors of a slumbering giant of war, stirred intrigue and speculation across the galaxy, hinting at hidden preparations for a monumental showdown. Behind the scenes, the Terrans clandestinely mobilized their forces, pouring resources into covert military projects and clandestine weapon development programs. Millions of Terrans answered the call to arms, swelling the ranks of their armed forces in anticipation of the looming conflict. Meanwhile, long-dormant factories churned to life, producing the tools of war needed to confront the Favja threat. As tensions reached a boiling point, the stage was set for a cataclysmic clash between two galactic powers, each secretly preparing for the inevitable confrontation. Behind the facade of diplomatic exchanges and political posturing, the true nature of the conflict lay shrouded in secrecy, with the fate of entire civilizations hanging in the balance.